I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Stone, and salutations to the Akim out there pushing his word sincerely and in truth, and to the rest of the believers, the men, women, and children who make up the remnant, who have been foreordained to receive this truth and to receive mercy. Shalom. This lesson is going to be entitled something along the line of, there are going to be few men left, and the Lord is going to glorify his men, in these last days, and we're just going to touch on a few scriptures that pretty much describe, the end times and how there will be very few men left. A lot of you women are going to be without protection in those days, right? And those of you women who are part of the elect will cling to a man of the Lord. And the Lord is going to make a man, which is a man of the Lord, a righteous man, right? Very precious in those days, Right? So let's start off here in 2nd Esdras. I believe this is chapter 15, chapter 16. Right? And we're going to start, right, from verse 21, right, to read on down. It says, Behold, victual shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And right now, that's what's growing now, right now, All right, if you're paying attention to the things that's going on in the world right now, famine is growing. It's as the brothers are bringing out, and a lot of people are bringing out, this world is in a controlled demolition state. There are a lot of deliberate acts that are causing food crises around the world, including inflation, hiking of food prices, hiking of gas prices, a lot of food supply is being destroyed. Cattle are dying. Food production plants are being destroyed by fire or some other quote unquote anomaly. And this is happening worldwide. Not to mention, the war that's over there in Ukraine is disrupting major grain exports to the world. Europe, Ukraine and Russia, I should say, contribute to a very, very significant portion of the world's supply of wheat. Russia controls, pretty much the majority of exports for fertilizers and ingredients for fertilizers. So all these different things, and then if we touch on the economic side, the elders, require come on the elder brother Ariella did a beautiful lesson, yesterday, going into the algorithm of how this financial system is also on a controlled demolition. So the whole thing is going belly up. A lot of people are still distracted, by what's going on in entertainment or whatever it is, right? So reading on, it says, For many of them shall perish that dwell upon the earth, shall perish of famine, right? And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, because there's going to be civil unrest, massive civil unrest. There's going to be waste wars, right? And ultimately, there's going to be a third war, which is a third world war. So if you escape the famine, sword is going to destroy you. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities be cast down. Imagine, right, being in a city, right, and only few of you left. Out of a city of millions, just a couple hundred left, right, or 50 left, or 60 left, out of a city of a million people, right? There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. Right, the trees shall give fruit, and we shall gather them. The grapes shall ripe, and we shall tread them. For all the places shall be desolate of men. Right. So this goes into the point that I want to make in this lesson, is that there's gonna be few men left in those days, A lot of them gonna die in the war, which you're gonna get. A lot of them gonna die in civil unrest, race wars. It says, so that one man shall desire to hear another, to see another, and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, who shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. Why are they going to hide? Because men are going to be out hunting. Men are going to be out hunting you to eat you, or to hunt your food. Right? It says, as in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 2 or 3 olives, or when a vineyard was gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through. Even in those days, so in those days, there shall be 3 or 4 of left by them that search their houses with the sword. What are they going to search their houses for? Food, If you watch certain movies, certain documentaries about, blackouts or, end times, apocalyptic times, people loot. And when there's no more food, when the food supply dries up, people start going from house to house with their weapons, right? Trying to find food. Right? This is what this is talking about. And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, right? Because no man shall veil through. It's like that movie, I Am Legend, right? When you see the city was all overgrown with forestry, trees, thorns, bushes, right? Because there was nobody left in the city. Right? The virgin shall mourn having no bridegrooms, and the women shall mourn having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. In the war shall their bridegroom destroyed, and their husband shall perish of famine. Right? So this is also, touching into the point of this lesson that a lot of you women are going to be without protection in those days, because now especially, a lot of you women tell yourself that you're independent and you don't need a man, right? So in those days, you're not going to have a man. And all the men, most of the men are going to be destroyed. And the few that are left are going to be men of the Lord. Right? It says, hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. And believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and slack not. Right? So these things are coming. Right? This is Isaiah 24 verse 6. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore, the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. Right? So that's beating home the point even more. So now we're going to talk about the men of the Lord being precious in those days. Right? The men of the Lord are going to be precious in those days because men on a whole are going to be in short supply. Right? And the few men that are left, the majority of them are going to be men of the Lord, and the rest are just going to be scavengers. Trying to make sure that they can feed themselves. Right? This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. And this man that is talking about is a righteous man, a man of the Lord. Right? One of the elect. That man is going to be precious, yo. Why? Because that man is going to be the salvation of whosoever is around him. Whatever women or children is around him, that man is going to be their salvation. So that's why that man is going to be special, yo. Let's read on. This is Isaiah chapter 32, verse 1. And this section is titled, The Glorious Future. It says, behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. That king is Yahushai. And the princes refer to first and foremost the 144,000, starting with the 12 apostles, right? The tabernacle of David, to put it that way. Verse 2, a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, right? And a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. Yeah, it's going to come a time when the Lord is going to start glorifying his men, right? And those men, those that are fortunate enough, that are blessed to be able to seek unto those men, especially the women who are of the elect and children who are of the elect, that seek unto those men are going to be hiding place from the calamity that's going on, because the Lord is going to set his angels around those men. Those men are going to be fed. Those men are going to be kept from the wars, from the civil unrest. They're going to be blessed in that time, and they're going to be a shelter for those who seek unto them. And the eyes of them that see them that shall not be dim, and the ears of them that hear shall hearken. Yeah, because you're going to listen to these men. These men are going to be the salvation of the Lord. Right? The heart also of the rash shall understand, and the tongue of the stammerer shall be ready to speak plainly. Right? Jumping on here to Zechariah 12 verse 8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. And this is talking about, again, those righteous men, because right now we're in feeble bodies, yo. Right? Speaking as a hopeful member of the elect, we're in feeble bodies. And in that day, the Lord is going to glorify us with a glorious body. Right? It says, and the house of the Lord shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, and the angel of the Lord before them. Why? Because we are going to be their salvation, yo. Right? We're going to wrap here in Isaiah chapter 4. This section is entitled, A Remnant Prepared. It says, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. And that man, again, this man is talking about a man of the Lord, a righteous man, a man of the elect. Right? Women are going to take hold of him because he's going to represent their salvation. The men, us men, again speaking as a hopeful member of the elect, we are going to be their salvation, yo. We're going to be that covert in the storm, right? That protection from the tempest, from famine, from men trying to rape them, right? In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped out of Israel. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem, meaning all of the men, women, and children who remain alive, as it says, I believe in 2nd Ezra, I can't remember which one. Those of you who remain after shall see my salvation and the end of your world. Yeah, that's what this is talking about, yo. Right? And he that remaineth in Jerusalem, not physically the land Jerusalem, but he that remaineth of the nation of Israel, right, who are delivered, shall be called holy, everyone that is written among the living in Jerusalem, because all the 2/3, all the unbelievers are going to be destroyed, yo. Right? The scripture says in Amos chapter 9, that the Lord is going to destroy all the sinners thereof, yo. But he's gonna deliver a remnant. So the remnant that are left alive shall be called holy. Right? And the men of the Lord are going to lead that remnant, yo. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, because right now, our people are filthy, our women are filthy, our men are filthy, right? All that filth is going to be washed away. Why? Because we're going to have pure bodies. We're going to have new, pure bodies. And shall have purged the blood of the Jerusalem from the midst, thereof by the spirit of judgment and the spirit of burning, right? The time of Jacob's trouble is going to purge the nation, yo. Purge out the rebels, right? And make them that left pure, right? And the Lord will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion and upon her assemblies a cloud and smoke by day and a shining of fire by night. For upon all the glory there shall be a defense. What's this talking about? This is talking about a chariot, yo. The Lord is going to set chariot also to defend us, yo. Just like he did when we were in the first Exodus, when we were coming out of the land of Israel, yo. Salakia, the land of Egypt. Right? And there shall be a tabernacle for a shadow in the daytime from the heat, and for a place of refuge, and for a covert from the storm and from the rain. So hopefully this lesson was edifying. Until next time, shalom.